Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Franchise Spotlight. In today's episode we're going to talk about 1974's The Man with the Golden Gun, which was directed by Guy Hamilton. I believe this was his fourth Bond film that he directed. He directed one of my personal favorites, which was Goldfinger, a lot of fun. This movie also is a lot of fun. So let's get into it. This Bond movie is no different than all the other ones that we have previously watched. It does have a very memorable villain in the Count Dooku, Christopher Lee. He has a very specific physical feature about him that is ironically a very important point in the movie. He has 3 nipples, which is really strange, but it is a pivotal point in the movie. So it's just, really fucking weird and goofy, but, that's kind of what Bond is. This movie is Roger Moore's second Bond film, and he is still just as good as Sean Connery. Very suave, he has actually a female partner in this that kind of helps him with the espionage. And of course, this movie does have one of the most iconic Bond weapons, I guess. Obviously, the Golden Gun, which is a one-shot, one-kill anywhere. So if you are into Bond, you obviously know that this is a very important movie in the whole franchise. It also has a very iconic rock island that they shoot on. And because of this movie, that island is now a very popular tourist destination with a great villain. And he actually gets set up pretty early. I think the opening scene, or whenever you first see Christopher Lee, it establishes that he knows who Bond is, and he is just cold-blooded killer. He plays a game with anyone who enters his lair, and he has his henchmen turn off all the lights. It's kind of like Saw in a sense, where whoever is getting into his lair has to navigate and go through all these different obstacles to try to kill Christopher Lee, because he kind of makes a game out of it. Ultimately, Christopher Lee kills I don't even know his name. I don't even think he's that important of a character, but I could be wrong. He kills him, the opening scene, to establish him as a villain, which I thought was, cool. I thoroughly enjoyed that, because it kind of raised the stakes for Bond a little bit. And of course, later in the movie, in the third act, Bond does have to go through this obstacle course to get to Christopher Lee, and ultimately he succeeds because he's James Bond, and that's what he does. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and give The Man with the Golden Gun 3 stars. Well, those are just kind of my quick thoughts on The Man with the Golden Gun. If you have any other thoughts, go ahead and comment down below. Otherwise, see you next time.